And stand to reason we've always emphasized the ambassador model, knowledge, wisdom, character. And knowledge has always been part of apologetics, and wisdom and character should have always been a part of it, but it's something, an emphasis that we've tried to bring and remind Christian ambassadors about. And in the context of being a good ambassador and the character, the question of what place ridicule in a discussion, or is there any place for it at all? And I have often said, when I look at people who offer certain types of challenges to Christianity that are kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of snarky, that it's appropriate to say, ridicule's not an argument. If you're just going to make fun of me, go ahead. You're welcome to do that. We'll all have a good laugh. Then maybe we can get back to the thinking part of dealing with this issue. Okay? So ridicule is not a substitute for careful thinking about things. However, and this is where I want to be careful, I don't think it's appropriate to ridicule for ridicule's sake. However, I do think that there are times when people have ridiculous points of view, and it's fair to show them to be ridiculous. We have to be careful here. Sometimes I'll make a point like that to an audience and people are laughing because they're thinking, well, that's ridiculous, and I want them to see that I'm not just trying to make fun of an opponent or opponent's view. I'm trying to show how foolish the view is, and when you see it, sometimes it makes you laugh because you think, how could someone believe that? But it isn't for the sake of mere ridicule. Let me give you an example. In talking about the beginning of the universe, the cosmological argument, Big Bang needs a Big Banger. You know, where did the universe come from? If it came into existence, the Big Bang, then something had to cause it. So what caused the universe to come into existence, I think, is an appropriate question for theists to ask of skeptics of all sorts. Of course, they might say, well, I don't know. Why you're asking me? I'm not a physicist. And my response is, well, wait a minute, it's not that hard. There's only two possibilities. One, the universe came from something, or two, it came from nothing. Well, if it came from something, that's going to put the skeptic / atheist in a difficult position, because whatever it came from is going to have to be something outside of the material universe, outside of history or time, outside of the time-space continuum, really powerful, intelligent, and before you know it, you're getting pretty close to God without too much trouble. So if the universe came from something, wow, they're playing in our field now, and they don't want to do that. So a lot of them will just say, well, no, nothing caused the universe. The universe came from nothing. Now, at that point, I think it's fair to point out that that's worse than magic. Because in magic, you have a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat. In this case, though, on their suggestion, you have no magician, and you have no hat. You just have a rabbit. And when I give that illustration, which a lot of people have offered, then the audience sometimes laughs because they realize how ridiculous the point of view is. But I'm not saying it to get them to laugh and ridicule my opponent. I am saying that kind of thing because it is a fair point to raise for people to see how ludicrous, ridiculous if you will, the idea of the whole universe coming from nothing actually is. So, I guess simply put, a good ambassador should not use ridicule either in place of an argument or along with an argument. That's just bad manners. Demonstrating that a view is ridiculous, though, especially if carefully done so it's clear that you're not trying to make fun of somebody who differs with you, but you're trying to point out how unsound the idea is, well, that I think is fair game. And that can be an effective rhetorical device, not distorting device, but persuasive device, to help people to see that some points of view are just off the charts.